Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book review of Shadow Study by Maria V. Snyder, and this is the fourth book in the Poison Study series. Now, I originally picked up the Poison Study series thinking that it was a trilogy, and then finding out that there was a 4-book in the series, and it's going to be, I think, a 6-book series. And this book is set, I think, 5 or 6 years after the Poison Study trilogy ended. So if you have read the original 3 books in the Poison Study series, you would know basically what the storyline plot is about. So the book blurb says, oddly enough, when Yelena was a Poison taster, her life was simpler, but she'd survived to become a vital part of the balance of power between rival countries Aixa and Saita. Now she uses her magic to keep the peace in both of them and protect her relationship with Valak. So that's what she's kind of doing currently, but then suddenly something happens and she gets her magic blocked. And the issue with that is Yelena is an enemy to a lot of people, and a lot of people want Yelena dead. So if they find out that Yelena's magic is blocked, she'll have a lot of assassins after her to try and kill her. So obviously she doesn't want that to find out. She's dealing with that. There's a war going on between countries and lies and deception, a lot of politics, a lot of people fighting for power, and a lot of evil shit and people going on. There is a lot happening in this book. I don't really want to give too much else away because I don't really want to spoil anything else. I think the idea of the general book is that you could pick this book up and not having to have read the Poison Study series, like the first 3 books. As I said, it is set like 6 years after the events of the end of Poison Study series. There was a lot of recapping, and I don't think really all of it was necessary. Even for you readers, I don't think there needed to be that much recapping going on. One difference between this book and the first 3 books in the series is that they're told by dual perspectives this book. So one chapter will be from Yelena's perspective, another one will be from Valak's, and another one will be from Jenko's. So instead of all of Yelena's perspective, you get like these 3 characters' perspectives instead. And that worked well in some ways, and in other ways I didn't really feel it. Because the 3 characters were kind of separated for most of the time, it was interesting to see what each character was doing and what was going on. And so in that way it was good. It was also good to see the characters' personalities shine real through, and you got to know more about the characters, especially Valak, where you got to know more about his past, which I absolutely love, don't get me wrong. But a lot of the times you would find the end of their chapters like ending off with a cliffhanger, especially like towards like the second half of the book. Every chapter ended off with a cliffhanger, and then you would have to wait to go through the next 2 characters like chapters to get back to that cliffhanger. And that happened a lot in this book, and it was really frustrating and also really hard because you'd be like really immersed in, say, Yelena's story, and then you'd go to Valak's story and be something completely different. And at some points it was like kind of hard like to get straight back into, if you get what I mean. As I said, I liked the dual perspective like aspect of it, but in some ways I didn't. I don't know, like I have very mixed feelings about the dual perspectiveness of this book. I did really like the story in this book, however at some points I felt like at the start maybe it was a little bit too dull, and then like towards the end it was like really action packed and a lot of cliffhangers, which I don't know, just in some areas didn't really sit really well with me. I also really love Yelena, but I felt like she lost a little bit of her spark this book, and I'm not sure if that's because of like her magic is gone now, but I don't know, just something was slightly not right and with me with Yelena in this book. There's also a very big cliffhanger at the end of the book, which just finishes, and you obviously have to wait till the next book to find out what happens there. And I was very conflicted about the cliffhanger. Like, I'm not sure how you're meant to feel about the cliffhanger, and I'm honestly very conflicted about it. I don't know how or what I'm meant to feel. Don't get me wrong, I really did like this book, but I just feel like it wasn't as good as the rest of the books in the series. I feel like for me, Poison Study will always be my favourite, then the other 2, and then this one. Whereas the others, Poison Study, I rated 5 stars, the other 2 4.5. I'm rating this one 4 stars. They're still really good, and I would still highly recommend picking this one up if you've read the Poison Tester series, but it's, I don't know, it's good, really good, but at some points there was just a little bit of lacklusterness going on for me. I would love to know in the comments below if you have read this book, or if you have read the Poison Study series in general, and what you thought of them, and what you thought of this one if you have read it. And like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more book related videos from me, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye!